Malagueña is the name of the actual piece, but lots of people play Malagueña because they do their own version of Malagueña. It's got a particular refrain. And I've always thought of that piece as being a tremendously fun piece. Malagueña is one of these things which simply lets go and suddenly it's fun. So I've always treated it that way, and that's why I played it that way. I've got various influences in the music that I have written. I mean, clearly the Spanish influence is strong because I was brought up in a Spanish home. My parents were Spanish. But then I very soon became really completely enamored of classical music. And I learned to play the violin, and I learned the repertoire, you know, Bach, classics, Vivaldi. So that became a really strong influence on me as well. We're all captured by romantic music, whether it be ballads as we recognize them now, or romantic music of the 19th century. And I love that music, so sometimes I do write a tune which is hugely sort of long and ballad-like and singing-like, even though I played on the guitar. So there are various influences which hopefully sometimes come together and produce, I hope, some quite interesting music. So far, most of it's on solo guitar, 2 guitars as well. I've done music for 2 guitars as well. I think the most difficult thing is we're all taken by different influences in our lives. So when we talk about music, and I talk about my own music, I know that I've got these different streams going into a river which goes into the sea of music, if we can put it that way. It works best when they are flowing together and they are indivisible. So you can't quite tell where one influence starts and the other one begins. That is always my ambition. I know that I don't often succeed, but it's what keeps me going. Some music comes to me incredibly quickly. In other words, I have an idea and practically the whole piece unfolds itself in my imagination before I have done anything. When you compose a piece of music, you always start from something. It may be some tiny little idea. It may be 3 notes. The most difficult thing is to start from blank. So if anybody who's watching this is stuck because they're starting from blank, you're in great company. One of the best things that happens to me is that I do get asked to do all sorts of types of activity to do with music, but the one which sticks in my mind as being the most extraordinary came from a manager. I knew he was a little bit off the beaten track, so to speak, when it came to ideas. And he said, "Carlos, would you play," this is on the Isle of Jersey, these are Channel Islands, "would you play a concert for us in the bay?" And I didn't quite get that, what it meant. I said, "In the bay." "Yeah, no, but actually on the water." I said, "What do you mean on the water? You mean a ship?" He said, "No, on a tugboat." I said, "Where's the audience?" "The audience is in the yachts, which are all going to be circling you. Do you remember that beach? It's about a mile away. We're going to blast them with speakers." And that's exactly what we did. There were all these yachts. There were about 50 yachts around the tugboat. These massive speakers blasting out into the sea where I was playing. I caught a chill as a consequence of that, and I was in bed for a week after that. I told the manager, "Never again, don't ask me to play on a tugboat."